Joint pain can be absolutely debilitating. But what if some of the best solutions weren't at the pharmacy, but maybe in your spice rack? Today, we're digging into the botanical pathways to joint recovery. Let's get right into it. So, let me ask you, is that nagging ache in your knees, or your hips, or your hands getting in the way of your life? You know, that feeling of stiffness and just general discomfort? It's incredibly frustrating, and it can stop you from doing the things you really love. Well, it turns out that real, lasting relief might be way closer than you think. We're talking about things that could be right in your kitchen pantry or your garden. We're about to uncover some of nature's most powerful remedies for joint health.
So you might be wondering, why turn to herbs in the first place? Well, it really comes down to a whole different approach to healing.
And this gets to a really important difference. Conventional drugs, they can be fantastic for giving you quick relief by basically just masking the symptoms. But herbal remedies, they aim a little deeper. The goal is to target the root causes of the pain, like chronic inflammation, which offers a much more sustainable, long-term approach to feeling better. All right, let's get practical. It's time to start building your own personal herbal toolkit for joint health. We're going to go through some of the most effective and well-researched botanicals out there.
And we have to start with a true giant in the world of natural medicine, turmeric. I mean, it's probably the most famous herb for joint health, and believe me, it's for a very, very good reason.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, it all comes down to an active compound called curcumin. This stuff is what gives turmeric its incredible anti-inflammatory power. It actually works on a molecular level to block specific inflammatory signals in your body. In fact, studies have shown it can be seriously effective for reducing pain in both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And using it couldn't be simpler. You can add a teaspoon to warm milk to make a golden latte, or just pop it in your tea. But here is the pro tip. Always, always add a pinch of black pepper. Pepper has a compound called piperine, and get this, it can boost your body's absorption of that curcumin by up to 2,000%. No, that is not a typo, 2,000%.
Okay, next up in our toolkit is a close cousin of turmeric, and another staple you probably have in your kitchen right now, ginger.
Ginger is just fantastic for reducing that physical swelling and stiffness that can make moving around so hard. What's really compelling is that it has these compounds called gingerols that work in a really similar way to common NSAIDs, like ibuprofen. But it's often much, much gentler on the stomach, which is a huge bonus if you're looking for long-term relief.
And just like turmeric, it's so easy to work into your day. A warm, soothing tea from fresh ginger slices is a classic, of course, but you can also grate it into stir fries, soups, or even throw it into your morning smoothie for a real anti-inflammatory kick.
Now for a remedy with a really cool history. Willow bark has been used for centuries, literally, as a natural pain reliever. You might even heard it called nature's aspirin. And there's a reason for that nickname. The magic ingredient is a compound called salicin. Back in the 19th century, scientists actually figured out how to synthesize this into something called acetylsalicylic acid, which is just the chemical name for what we all know today as aspirin. So with willow bark, you're basically going back to the original natural source of that pain relief. To use it, you just make it into a tea. You steep the dried bark in hot water for a good 10 to 15 minutes to really pull out that salicin. It's a fantastic option for managing mild to moderate joint pain. But, and this is a huge but, so please listen up. Because of that chemical similarity we just talked about, if you have an allergy to aspirin, you absolutely must avoid willow bark. It's just not for you. Safety first, always. All right, let's switch gears. We've been talking about remedies you take internally. Now let's talk about things you can apply directly to the source of the pain for really targeted relief. Two amazing herbs for this are comfrey and arnica. Now, these are not meant to be eaten, okay? These are for external use only. They've been staples in folk medicine forever to treat things like bruises and sprains because they work wonders at reducing that localized swelling and soothing the tight, sore muscles that usually surround an aching joint. You can make a really potent massage oil by infusing these herbs in a carrier oil, something like olive oil or coconut oil. Or if you need more intense relief on one specific spot, you can make a poultice, which is basically just a soft, moist paste of the herb, and apply it directly to the area for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now look, using these herbs is a huge step. But if you really want to amplify the benefits, you can bring in a few other supportive habits. Let's make this a whole body approach. First,
Help your body from the inside out with an anti-inflammatory diet. Think leafy greens, berries, things with omega-3s. Second, keep those joints moving with gentle exercise like swimming or yoga. And third, and this is my favorite, be your own scientist. Keep a little journal, track your symptoms, and notice how your body responds to the different herbs. This is how you figure out the perfect routine for you. So we've covered a ton of ground here. Let's just tie this all together so you know exactly how you can start walking your own path to natural joint recovery. So, to recap our toolkit, for fighting that deep down inflammation from the inside, you've got turmeric and ginger. For natural pain relief, as long as you're not allergic to aspirin, you've got willow bark. And for that direct, targeted support right on the sore spot, you can turn to comfrey and arnica. By combining these amazing botanical pathways with smart lifestyle choices, you can build a really powerful natural strategy for managing your joint pain and taking back your mobility. The only question left is, which one are you going to explore first?